Welcome back to Undisputed Friday. We are here back on the campus of Drury University at the O'Reilly Family Event Center for the boys 16 and under Undisputed National Championship game between the Oklahoma Flame out of the Tulsa area and the West Michigan Hornets out of Michigan. My name is Paul Gilmore, and I have the pleasure of being joined by Scott Staten and Nick Fairley. We're bringing you the action as the Hornets and Flame tip off. Flame in their dark gray uniforms with the Oklahoma running down the side, and the orange trim on the numbers. West Michigan in the white uniforms with the red lettering and black numbers.
Like the unis.
You were telling me earlier they're reminiscent of some of those Oklahoma City Thunder jerseys.
Yeah, they do. They look like one of the old school ones.
First three-pointer of the day is no good, in and out from the Flame. That was Dawson Bell. He's been big for them this tournament. On the Hornets' first possession, it hit every part of the back of the rim and rolled out.
Go ahead. You see the name West Michigan a lot in this tournament on this Undisputed Day. Their program really making some noise.
I like the lettering down the side for the Flame.
That three on the way, no good. A couple of good looks early for Oklahoma, have not been able to capitalize. And that ball is going to be tipped and stolen away by Quan Young, and he's going to lay it up and in. He cocked back like he was going to throw it down. He's capable of doing it. I saw him do it in the Sweet 16 game, but that time he decided, you know what, it's pretty early. We need the points.
And a whistle and a foul. Looked like he reached in from behind.
Yeah, it looked like early on the Hornets' press break was just having Vanderbilt try to dribble through everyone. They're going to need to have people flash to the middle.
Back the other way, West Michigan got a 3-on-2 in the paint, spin, shot no good. Rebound comes back to Bell.
They broke the press pretty well there, but couldn't connect on the shot. Whoa, talk about flying. He said almost up there. I thought we were going to see a throwdown. All the way. Nice drive by Vanderbilt.
Good take by Vanderbilt, and he gets West Michigan on the board. That three on the way, and no good. Chases the offensive rebound. Bell got back in time enough to pick it up for the Flame. Now Young on the drive. In the far corner, that three-pointer is on the way, and that is good. Nothing but net for Lucas Wyatt, and then steals the inbound. Oh, excuse me, that was Daniel Turner. And then he stole the inbound to get a possession back for the Flame. They lead 5-2.
Great hustle there. You love it when a player doesn't spend too much time celebrating what they just did, that they're ready to be right back on the attack, and that time able to get another possession for his squad.
And this Flame team is relentless. They have all facets of the game, and that's a reach-in foul called on Noah Roloffs, his first.
Yeah, he probably feels like he had a steal there because he hit the ball, but he bounced off the back of the Flame player there and almost had a steal, like the effort.
Two turnovers early on for the Hornets.
And that time a miscue by the Flame. Has a good look on the backdoor cut, but just bounced a little low and out of reach.
Now two turnovers for the Flame, as I said that.
Hornets breaking that press pretty well.
Yeah, there's no reason to try to dribble through a zone press. You're just asking for a turnover.
Nienhuis with a nice shot.
Could not convert on that extra possession. Flame come back the other way. They've got some numbers.
Boy,
3-on-2 the other way. Dawson Bell's going to pull up for three. You could tell that was kind of off as he shot it.
Yeah.
And he realized right away he should have found his teammate. He looked over and said, my bad.
On the other end, Nienhuis with he missed the shot, got his own rebound, missed that one, and then goes flying to try to steal the ball. I mean, the guy just got a motor. We saw that last night. And Brady Sensano, I've never seen anybody like him, but kind of out of the same mold there. Colton Nienhuis.
That time, that three-pointer no good from Turner. Nice Euro. Wow. Tough take from Noah Roloffs. Then back the other way, Quan Young.
Vanderbilt came racing back to try to block it.
And then Young stole the inbounds, and he was fouled going to line shooting too.
Wow. Kind of just threw it right to him on the inbounds play.
That was Josh Bergwerf that was whistled for the foul, his first.
Yeah, we've seen that twice already where the Flames score and then they turn around and on the inbounds are either almost able to steal it or that time they did steal it and get themselves an extra possession or two. And when you're in a close game, those extra possessions that you can steal from the other team really start to pile up and can be a difference.
We've also seen it affect the mentality of teams too. When they've thrown a lot of early turnovers, it just kind of throws you off your rhythm for the entire rest of the game.
They escaped the bullet there. Young missed them both.
Three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Oklahoma. Trapped in the corner, gets it up to Quan Young. He's got a 2-on-2. He put it up, wow.
That looked like he threw it up from like knee level. I don't know how he got that to go.
We have seen some high degree of difficulty shots here at Drury University this week.
That's a 9.6 on my vote. Another turnover for the Hornets. Boys, sometimes they seem like they're fine with the press, and then sometimes I think they almost rush themselves. And that time they just threw it away.
They took out Quan Young, but he's had some very athletic finishes.
Dawson Bell on the drive, puts it up, no good. Got a second look at it, but too strong off the backboard.
Love the way that both teams are, like, when they miss a shot, they don't give up after that. No hanging their heads. That was a steal.
Nice feed. Lays it off.
That's 5
to
turnovers
Lucas
now
Wyatt.
for the Hornets.
Yeah, and I think they want to take a chance to talk about that. They now trail 11-4 early on in the boys 16 undisputed. 2:44 to go. And so, Nick, if you're in this situation and you're looking on the West Michigan sideline, you know, you've mentioned a couple times how they're choosing to attack that press break. And, Scott, you mentioned they've done it well. But Nick, what are some things that you're seeing that maybe they could use to be more effective breaking that press and not having as many turnovers?
Yeah, as aggressive as Oklahoma Flame is playing, they're kind of playing right in their hands when they don't pump fake or just try to dribble through it. They need to stay composed, as we saw in that last 12U game, where when that press is up on you, you just got to pump fake, get the defense moving because they're going to jump, and then just stay composed, stay down, don't jump, and get it to the middle, and then just branch off from there. And you don't want to pick up your dribble, but got lucky there.
Also, they have to be aware. Another turnover, just lost the ball. They have to be aware that it's almost like they exhale after the Flames score, and instead of being on alert, the Flame turn right around, and we've seen them a couple times been able to steal the inbounds pass because they're just not ready. And the Hornets got to stay, like, on point every second you're on that court.
And that time, David Turner was on the drive, and we have a blocking foul called on Bergwerf. That's his second. And then a technical foul is assessed to Bergwerf.
Yeah, he didn't like the call, and I mean, I'm not the official. I don't know that he did anything tech-worthy, but the official felt like that he was too demonstrative in his disagreement, and that's going to give an extra free throw to him. It was close. He was set up. He felt like he drew the charge, but honestly, that is a 50-50 call, and it's really difficult. You just can't count on those. You just got to go in and know that it's going to be 50-50 either way. And if you draw the foul, you know, you'll try it again next time. You can't let yourself be taken out of your game.
Yeah, it's kind of rare to see a first quarter technical a lot of times. Typically towards the end of the game, the refs are, you know, hearing it from both teams or from the coaches or the fans. And, you know, everybody's human, so eventually you just get to the point where you've had enough. But in this first quarter, you know, you're not sure if something was said or, you know, a certain look was given. But I think what that does is it kind of helps set the tone for the game as well of, you know, look, we're here to play basketball. And, you know, the calls are not always going to go the way you think they should. Whether it was right or not, both teams are going to disagree with some of the calls. So you've got to stay composed, like Nick was talking about. You've got to have that composure and not get to a point where you allow yourself to get taken out of your game, especially because it's so early on. And
now the officials pulled both coaches aside, and I think he's just talking to them about, you know, maintaining in the midst of all the intensity that the chatter kind of slows down. And I also liked before that, you might not have seen it because I think we were focused on the free throw, but the official called over the player, and he just explained to him quietly, like, what the foul was about, and, you know, like,
we got confirmation that that technical foul was going to be on Roloffs and not on Bergwerf. That's the correction and the discussion they had at the table there.
Yep. Refs have done a great job explaining all of these things. So explaining to Coach Bell that, one, it was not a shooting foul, and then two, any technical foul comes out at the half court, not underneath the basket.
And I like that he clarified and made sure that it was on the right player. And, you know, like that's what you like. If you're going to get a technical, it's still a learning opportunity, and that the officials take the time and, you know, don't make it a personal thing, but they want the kids to grow through it too, you know, and that was a good job, I feel like, that time.
And that was a nice Euro step that was taken by Moses Vanderbilt. And he's going to go to the free throw line as that ball was blocked, but it looked like there's a little contact as well. I think they called that blocking foul on David Turner.
2 shots for Vanderbilt. He's already had 1 bucket today. They've really struggled scoring. Just 2 minutes left in this first quarter, and it's only their 5th point.
Brady Tuggle has checked in for the Oklahoma Flame. Josh Malinik for the Hornets.
Hits them both.
Looks like the Hornets are going to press as well.
Oh, almost with the steal.
Roloff's got his hands on that ball.
If Nick had his hands ready, I think he'd have had that one.
Oh, yep. Yeah, again, higher pressure for the Hornets, maybe trying to get their players engaged.
Hornets just trying to weather this storm. Oh, good block that time by Bergwerf.
Coming back the other way, tough pass. Roloffs is able to save it.
Oh.
And we had a player fly into the broadcast booth, but thankfully he's okay.
Cy Cochran, yep, he's all right. That's why they let these things roll. It's better that they roll into us than that they don't move and the players get hurt.
Again, they're doubling up top, and it's just creating havoc.
And that pass was overthrown over the head of Daniel Turner.
Yeah, we've seen unforced errors on both sides, but I feel like it's been more on the Hornets where they just haven't – it's almost like their hands aren't awake. They've lost a couple of just passes they wouldn't normally lose, I don't think, and making some passes that are a little questionable. They're not right in the right spot, and they just – I feel like if they can just weather through this first quarter, maybe you start getting things right. We've seen it some in this tournament where a team starts out kind of slow, but, man, once they get their rhythm, and right now they just don't have a rhythm.
8 first quarter turnovers is not going to help you get a rhythm.
That shot no good from Tuggle.
It's kind of like me on the wedding dance floor, you know? Once I get my groove.
And that's Bergwerf on the scoring board. He's got his first basket. That cuts it to a 4-point deficit.
Maybe that'll help them get their groove.
It certainly got the West Michigan faithful more engaged.
And after 8 first quarter turnovers to just be down 4.
Yeah, right. Just weathering the storm. Just get through this quarter. Don't let it get too ugly.
In the far corner, Roloffs for 3. Yes!
Wow. Here they come.
Wow.
Noah Roloffs cuts it to 1.
I think they hit the snooze button one too many times.
And then a turnover by Oklahoma.
Momentum is a crazy thing.
Did I say they're awake now? Because I think they're awake now.
They're awake now. We've got the bucket crew behind us. We've got the West Michigan faithful behind their bench. They've got some chance going now. And despite everything that's happened in the first quarter, they've got a chance to take the lead going into the second. On the drive, a good look inside, and that's laid off for Bergwerf. And just like that, they lead 13-12. And that was last touch by West Michigan.
On that shot by Bergwerf, Colton Nienhuis went down and just made a beautiful dish to find him on the opposite side of the lane and turn that into points. And now all of a sudden we're looking up and they've got a lead.
5.5 seconds in the first quarter. Dawson Bell, he's going to take the jumper, no good. On the rebound, that's also no good. And West Michigan's going to head into the second quarter up 13-12 on the Oklahoma Flame. Second quarter action and more coming up after this brief intermission. We are back at Drury University. Second quarter starts as the West Michigan Hornets took a 1-point lead into the second quarter, which seemed a little inconceivable at parts of the first quarter, but they did a great job of keeping better control of the ball. And then, as I say that, an unforced error.
You go back to the way they played the first, 6-7 minutes of that last quarter. It was almost like they just spotted them 12 points and then said, okay, now we'll play. They somehow just woke up.
Yeah, they're on a 9-0 run right now and probably just over 2.5 minutes.
And David Turner puts it in with the left.
Strong left-handed layup. Switch the hands there. Gets his team back out in front. Also back into the game, Quan Young. He started out great. He had 6 quick points, and we might see a throwdown here.
Oh,
no.
And maybe that's why we didn't, because that's another unforced error. He definitely can throw that down. I've seen it happen. Just maybe a little bit too early in the day now. That foul is called on Josh Malinik. Excuse me, that was 25, Eli Dewey for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Young he had 6 quick points, and then we didn't see him, and we only had him down for 1 foul, but I'm wondering if maybe he's got 2 in the official book because he didn't play the rest of the quarter.
Good find underneath. That is Bergwerf. He had 4 in the first period, so he's got 6 now to lead West Michigan.
And that was a pass that in the first half of the first quarter, they would lose out of bounds. They were making good passes, they were making good cuts, but they just could not seem to gather the ball in.
I believe they called that foul on Vanderbilt, his first. Doesn't look like they reset the team fouls for the quarter on the big scoreboard.
I believe it's 1-1 for this quarter, that is.
Turner, no good.
That's a good look. That elbow jumper, he can hit that, but not that time.
Oh, tough pass to handle.
Yeah, some of their passes, they're just off just a little bit, you know? If you just maybe take a little bit of the heat off of that, but apparently it was tipped, so they're going to keep it down at this end.
Oh.
Nice look inside. That's going to be a basket for Roloffs. He picks up where he left off. He's got 7 in the game.
Good out-of-bounds play.
I think a lot of times these teams are expecting a lot of motion during those out-of-bounds plays, and sometimes that subtle step in front of the defender has opened up some opportunities.
Especially in the zone. Yeah, they run the zone on the baseline out of bounds.
And if you're West Michigan, you've got to move that ball quickly as you're getting double teamed at the top. It's opened up some opportunities when they've had a chance to get quick passes. Roll-off's no good that time. Offensive rebound ends up in the hands of David Turner. He's coming back the other way.
You can't bring the ball down that low in the lane. They're going to swipe it away.
And that was a foul that's going to be called on Bergwerf.
That's 3 on him.
Yeah, I think that's his third, and I wonder if they're going to give him a shot on that or just on the drive. Looks like they're going to give him underneath. Checking in for the Flame is Lucas Wyatt.
Yeah. On the scoreboard, it says he has 4 fouls, but I don't believe that's correct.
I think that was where they originally added the tech, and then in case you didn't see that, a technical was called on Bergwerf, but his teammate then came up to the official and said that was actually me and confessed to it, which, you know, real friend. That's nice and a good teammate. So they took the tech off of Bergwerf, and that's probably the confusion there.
But he does have 3 fouls just 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. So he'll probably be sitting for a little bit.
Quan Young at the line shooting 2.
And we'll check at halftime, but I just got to think, I can't think of any other reason other than foul trouble that they would have pulled Young out, because he had 6 quick points, and I've only got him down with 1 foul.
I also have 1 as well. Maybe it's trying to keep him fresh kind of situation. He exerts so much energy on defense, and we've seen him on a couple of runouts. And, you know, again, I'm sure his stamina is impressive, but
yeah,
maybe trying to keep him fresh.
Been even this quarter, 4 apiece.
Nice feed off to Young. And then some offensive rebounds. And ultimately last touched and will stay with the Flame.
Man, they had 3 shots, I mean, within a couple feet of the basket, and just each one was over everything.
Another substitution for the Flame.
That's 10 turnovers now already for the Hornets.
Turner back in.
They're still up by 1, which is crazy.
And we're going to have a foul on the floor. They're going to call that one on Nienhuis.
Colton Nienhuis came over before and was helping us out. We always kid around with the Michigan squads. They're on the 3 there that's missed. Their coach was telling me, he said, yeah, we know every game we try to send somebody to tell whoever's announcing, whether it's on the PA system or radio or whatever, because we've got a lot of those Dutch names and things up in our area of Michigan. And so
and they're going to call that a blocking foul and 1.
They're going to have to count that, yeah.
That was on David Turner. He took the brunt of that fall. And that shot was put in by Roloffs, and he'll have a chance to connect on the 3-point play.
But Nienhuis said, you got to get my name right. I'm the one who came over to help you get to understand the pronunciation. So, yeah, we said, all right, we'll get it. We'll do our best.
And
the ref doesn't know that the basket went in.
Well, now there's discussion saying they did or they didn't count it. They did count it.
They did count it. I don't know how you would have changed that call, because if you called that a blocking foul,
right,
it was in the air as the backboard went in. As it went in off the backboard.
The ref just didn't know it had gone in, so he got clarification from the scorer's table that yes, indeed, the ball did go through the hoop.
That time an unforced error from the Flame, stolen away by Roloffs.
Roloffs having a great quarter.
Ooh,
underneath. And we're going to have a traveling violation as he tried to make one more step to get that ball out top.
We've seen that a couple times where this game where they'll get the ball down low, and rather than go up with it and keep the ball high, they bring it low enough that it gets knocked away or swiped away, and they've done that several times in this game. That's got to be kind of driving their coach a little bit crazy, because you teach your kids not to take that extra dribble in there or bring the ball down where the guards can swipe it.
Nice look inside for Quan Young. Good ball movement and patience as Dewey got it down on the baseline to Young.
Double digits for Young now.
Better press break that time for the Hornets.
That time it looks like he took off before he got the dribble down.
Yeah.
And we not to oversimplify things, but I just have been very surprised at this boys 16U level, the amount of turnovers and unforced errors. I mean, still a good game, a very entertaining game, but I'm just surprised at how many unforced errors these teams have.
Yep, as well. You're playing for a boys 16U undisputed, and it's not been clean, but it's been close.
And that's on Vanderbilt. I believe that's his third. That's going to send Quan Young to the free throw line.
A little confused why they don't put players into rebound. As we've seen this tournament, a lot of offensive rebounds going off free throw misses. Over at Ozark, we saw probably over 50% of free throw misses go to the offensive team. So maybe they just trust Quan to hit both these. And for good reason.
4 for 4 on free throws. All tied up again.
Underneath, that time the pass was just out of the reach of Ike Roloffs.
Yeah, I'll say it again, 13 turnovers now, with still 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Got to clean that up, but somehow you're still tied.
Nearly a miscue for the Flame in the backcourt. Good look over the top.
Yeah.
Wow, nice entry pass from Bell into Tuggle.
Yeah, he sealed his defender, got behind him, and a nice pass to get it over top where he could get the ball freely.
Three-pointer, Roloffs. That ball just rolls off his hands.
Yeah.
That was smooth, quick trigger.
How did I know that was coming?
I'm here till tonight.
Oh, good answer.
The answer from Bell. That's his first points or first field goal of the game. Good hustle
Almost.
from the Flame. They're continuing to apply this pressure.
It's working, why change it?
Nice strong drive
Wow.
up and in for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, you like that because I felt like the Flame were kind of forcing their pace, and rather than slow it down, Vanderbilt just attacked and turned it into points.
Nice finish there with the right on the left side, put some spin on it.
Oh, almost a tip away there by Vanderbilt.
Got to be careful, yep.
And then he reached in on Bell.
If your defender beats you and you're in foul trouble, don't bail him out by reaching in from behind. So that's already in the bonus for the Flame. And 3 fouls for him. Yeah, so just not a smart foul. You got to know how many fouls you have.
First free throw for Bell is good. Second, no good.
They are bound and determined to stay tied.
And we've got a traveling violation.
They didn't like the call, but I do think he drug his foot. He was trying to – sometimes when you try to go in between the defenders on a press like that or double team, you drag your foot with you.
Bell floats it up,
Oh,
no good.
wow.
On the tip-in, Tuggle.
I think Tuggle will get the points, but I'm not sure that didn't go off a Hornets hand.
Quan Young steals the inbounds, no good.
Yep.
And then he's going to get called for over the back. But you've got to love the hustle from Quan Young.
I think they're gonna take him out again.
Yeah, he's just got 2.
And maybe they know that's maybe something where your coach knows more than we do, and maybe he knows that Young can get them in bunches, and so he just tries to save them all as much as he can for the second half. You hate to see him on the bench though. If you're the Flame, he's got 12 points already.
And now Roloffs, nice Euro step. And he's going to go to the line shooting 2.
it's always right on the brink of a travel. On those jump steps, you don't know, like the Euro steps, it's sometimes the officials let it go and sometimes they don't. I've seen where a lot of times a player will go up to the official ahead of time and show him what he does and say, is this a travel to you, or are we good with this? And once they kind of get that clarification, they seem to be able to get the call. So
a lot of it has to do with when you pick up the ball. Are you picking up in the air?
Right.
Are you picking up with still one pivot foot on the ground? Because if you do pick it up with one pivot foot on the ground, you have to land simultaneously. You can't chop step. But sometimes that's hard to see in real time for the refs.
So that's now 10 points for Roloffs just in this quarter. He's got 15 in the game to lead the Hornets.
All tied up. We spent most of this quarter tied.
In the far corner for three. Nice shot.
Yeah.
That was Lucas Wyatt.
That was on line. As soon as it left his hand, you knew that was going in.
Oh, good catch.
Ooh, it's getting close on the 10 seconds.
Good
and
timeout.
he gets the timeout. Yeah, it was getting close. Great interior clock by the head coach of the Hornets.
26.6 seconds left in the first half of this boys 16 undisputed. The Oklahoma Flame currently lead 30-27. So, Nick, you mentioned in that press break that you're noticing a lot of dribbling. You're kind of playing into the defense's hands. You've seen a lot of players getting trapped and have to make tough passes out of that double dribble. So, when you've coached your guys on press break, what are some of the main tenets of what you're looking for them to do?
Yeah, I really want them to stay composed. Don't get sped up by the press, but you really got to find a guy in the middle and have players running off of him, because that's just almost impossible to defend. And I, like, as a coach, I want to punish press breaks. I want to punish presses, so they have to stop pressing and just score layup after layup on them, attack two-on-ones on the backside. And they're not really taking advantage as much as they could be.
Ruoff's got trapped in the corner. That's a turnover.
Then Roloff steals it right back.
Gets it back. 10 seconds.
Beautiful. Good drive.
Roloffs does a great job when on the break, once he gets in the paint, of positioning his body where the defender can't block him, and if he's going to try to block, it's going to be a foul. And he's very, very strong on those moves. Really starting to pile the points up here now.
And if you're the Hornets, you've had 14 first-half turnovers, and you have a chance to be down just one going into halftime. That's crazy.
Flame faithful calling out the time left to Bell. He's going to fire up the last-second shot. No good. And that's going to do it for our first half of play. We've got ourselves a tight one. Oklahoma leads 30-29. Second half action and a lot more undisputed and championship games coming up after this intermission. Back on the campus of Drury University at the O'Reilly Family Event Center. We've got ourselves a good one here in the boys 16U. Oklahoma Flame working against West Michigan Hornets. Right off of the tip, it's Dawson Bell.
Bell with 6 for the Flame. Lead up to 3 again.
In that first half, it was Quan Young with 12 to lead the Flame. Their scoring was a little bit more distributed evenly, as in West Michigan, Roloffs had 17.
Fired up another one, but not on the mark that time.
Again, if you're the Hornets, when you break that press, you have an opportunity for a 2-on-1. They're just not taking advantage, and that Flame's just going to stay in the press if that's the case.
And Young sailed that one into the second row behind the score table.
Sometimes that happens, you just got to laugh and shake it off.
Yes.
Or you use that for your football, huddle. Put that on your football mixtape. Coach, I got an arm.
Yeah, I mean, I know some baseball teams that would like to have somebody could do that.
Young up ahead has a wide open Daniel Turner who puts it in. On the breakout, he just got behind the defense, and Young heads up play to see behind the defense, get that to his guy, and then he's going to be whistled for the foul on the inbounds.
4-0 run to start this one.
Second foul on Young.
Again, Hornets have to take advantage of this press.
Young causing all kinds of problems at the point of attack. Surprised West Michigan doesn't have more players coming up, cutting towards the ball.
Yeah, just one guy guarding 2 players, and they can't even get the ball in. What length?
This time, Western Michigan does have someone come towards the ball.
That is a tough pass.
And
turnover.
Got it to Bergwerf, but then he lost the handle. Bell gets it over to Young and puts it in.
6-0 run to start this quarter.
And that time it was a charge. That one is called on Vanderbilt. I believe that's his 4th.
Yep, that's according to the book, that's what we've got as well. We went over and checked at halftime, and
wow, that is huge.
And I wonder if Coach knows that he has 4. I don't think they've signaled over to the bench.
The book just signaled over to them, but Coach wasn't looking.
On the drive, Bell pushes through the defense.
matched his first half total already.
Dangerous.
That time,
Needed that. Needed that.
Bergwerf drove all the way through the defense. Ball whipped on the far side. Three-pointer, no good. Hustle from David Turner, but he saves it to West Michigan, and they're going to be fouled down the sideline.
I think that was on Tuggle. Nope, that was actually on Turner.
Third foul on Turner.
If you're West Michigan, got to realize weather the storm. You're down 7. They went on a run. You'll get your run. Just be
Nice
patient.
feed inside. No good on that attempt. And then Roloff spins inside. He's going to be fouled, and that might be David Turner again. And if it is, that's his 4th.
So a little bit of foul trouble both ways.
And there's 2 Turners. So that one, I think, might have been on the other Turner, but I'm not sure about that. They are going to sit him down.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound comes down to Bergwerf, no good. Quan Young and Bergwerf are tied up. Possession saved for West Michigan.
So that's why you want to have offensive players inside to rebound on free throws, because you see they just bought themselves another possession there.
And Nick, I know you've been hammering that point about defensive boxing out on these free throws.
Yep.
It's been a
It's
crazy percentage.
Yeah, it's so frustrating as a coach.
And then we're going to have a foul, I believe, against West Michigan. Yep, they're going to call that one on Cy Cochran.
A little bit of pressure here for the Hornets, and they back off.
Yeah, not the start you want if you're West Michigan. You were just down 1 at half. Lead up to 6, and
Quan Young's going to go to the free throw line as that foul was called on Nienhuis.
That charge block call is so tough. There's so, I mean, there's players today are just schooled so well on how to set up where you can draw the charge, but now players are so nimble and athletic that a lot of times they can just kind of midair switch the direction they're going almost and avoid enough the contact that then they call a block.
Yeah, read the ref manual and watch the videos they put out each year, and block charge is always a controversial topic, and this year they changed it, made it even harder to take a charge. But yeah, it's definitely a subjective call that is very tough.
Oh, he almost saved that Quan Young behind his back after he hit his 2 free throws.
Very heads-up play.
He's got 16 for the Flame. Lead up to 8.
Bergwerf working it on the baseline, no good. He's had several good looks this quarter.
Yeah.
He's had some fall and some not.
He expends so much energy getting to the goal that I think by the time he gets there, he's almost just like, not run out of gas, but maybe the contact just throws him off.
And Bell steps through the defense. He's got 6 in this quarter. And they extend their lead to double digits. And then they steal the inbounds. And he's fouled. They're going to call that foul on Malinik, Josh Malinik.
Yeah, he tried to reel in the pass that was over his head, and then when he couldn't get it, he shoved the back of the Flame player and drew his first. Wow.
A cutting Young.
I don't know how he kept that ball. It was one-handed. And then he gets his hand on that to tip it to his teammate.
That so
Three-pointer for Bell, no.
He's everywhere.
He really is. If they count tips, I mean, he has multiple times tipped the ball away, even if he didn't get it, but sometimes to his teammate.
Roloff's now with 20.
14-5, third quarter lead for the Flame.
Yeah, it's starting to get in dangerous territory here if you're West Michigan. Flame are really just seizing control of this game this quarter.
Yeah, the turnover battle favors the Flame. They forced 17 and have only committed 7, so that's been a major factor in this game.
A lot of that has to do with Quan Young and the way that he's been at the top of that press break. Even the ones that he's not stealing, he's affecting by tipping, knocking balls out. There's been at least 2 or 3 times he's batted it back out of bounds, really making West Michigan think about the press break in ways that, you know, I feel like they're underestimating the length, because the amount of steals that he's gotten where he maybe had his arms down and then lightning quick puts his arm out and steals the ball, that's happened at least 5 times in this game.
Yeah, and if you're the Hornets, you got to take advantage of his aggressiveness. Get him up in the air with a quick pump fake, and then just pass around him and explode down the court. Take advantage. Hornets have not done a very good job of that.
Yeah, it's been surprising because the Hornets, I mean, it's almost like it goes in spurts where they have no problem at all with the press, and then for the next 2 or 3 minutes, they just can't get the ball past half court. Like, as a coach, you know, you're just like, guys, we know how to do this. We keep showing it. What are we doing going back to these bad habits? And part of it, I mean, you got to credit the Flame with their athleticism. But it just seems like it's, I don't know, almost Jekyll and Hyde.
Yep. Sometimes it's contagious, though. One guy commits a turnover. You try to force a pass. The other teammates do the same. They love that inbounds play.
Yeah, they do, and I see why.
It works every time.
20 points now for Young.
Yeah, he's got 8 in this quarter alone, and their lead has shot up to 12. Another steal in the books for Young.
Roloff's tried to go between his legs and lost it.
That was a great job by Cochran to get up there and block the first attempt, but Quan Young's leaping ability was just so quick on the second jump. He got another easy look. And then Turner steals it on the other end.
And that's a case of one too many passes. There was no reason to pass that one.
And Turner lost that one as he went up.
You'd like to see him back it out there because the defender, you could see from here, was cutting into the passing lane, and he threw it anyway.
There we go. That's better.
Inside. Nice interior pass, and we're going to have a foul on I'm not sure if that was on the shot or on the floor.
Well, I know the player that fouled him was on the floor. It looked like he rolled underneath, and that time Bergwerf tried to avoid it, but like as he shot it, his foot hit the player that was on the floor and almost lost his footing, kept his balance, and the official called the foul.
Free throw no good from Bergwerf, and goes without saying, but you can't afford to leave points at the line in a situation like this. I mean, you never want to, but certainly down 14 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Every one of these possessions and points are so critical.
18-6 this quarter in favor of the Flame. And they have absolutely grabbed control of this game, and wheels have fallen off for the Hornets. Going to have to try to get some extra possessions with some steals, and there's the first one. Maybe that will get things going.
Up ahead,
Oh.
Cochran.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh!
Nifty. That was nice.
And I'm sure he would tell us he does that all the time.
Good block. Some momentum.
This is what you need. Oh!
And that time, Nienhuis didn't know that the pass was coming up ahead.
Yeah, and it hit the player. He got stepped on from behind, but the official was running and did not see that.
And they're going to call a blocking foul on Bergwerf. And I think the ref did a good job that time. He gave not an official warning, but had a conversation with Nienhuis, just letting him know, look, I know it's heated. I know you're in the middle of the battle, but let's keep it together.
Yeah, and he was tripped, but honestly, it was
Just incidental.
Yeah, it was incidental, and also the official was ahead of him, so he didn't even see that. And, sometimes that happens. We saw the other night, I mean, the officials don't want that to happen, but where a ball came in on an 18U game and hit the official and resulted in a fast break for the other team, and he you could see he put his hands up like, I'm sorry, but the official's part of the court. And he went over to apologize to the coach, and the coach was like, it happens.
And to be fair, anytime you're tripped, you never feel like it's inadvertent.
Yeah.
Like, I'll blame my shoes.
Right.
I'll blame the stairs.
Right.
Somebody's to blame.
That time, they double team when he tries to throw it over the top, and when they put their hands up, there's nowhere to go.
Bell,
Wow.
no good the first time. Young completes that putback.
Holy smokes, what a quarter for Young.
Young's a complete player.
He's got 12 in this quarter, which matches his whole output from the first half. And Josh Malinik gets the bucket. So Quan Young up to 24. Bell, Euro steps.
Dangerous. Jump passes are killer.
Yeah, never leave your feet if you don't know where you're going.
Roloff's in the corner. Three-pointer, no good. Offensive rebound, Nienhuis. And then he's bumped by Quan Young.
Went down hard, but bounces up quickly, and he's ready to, I believe, go shoot some free throws. I think that is the 5th team foul. Yep, goes up on the board now, and he'll get 2.
I believe that's 3 on Young.
First free throw, no good. Substitutions as 3 new Flames come onto the court. That's Tuggle, Turner, and Deacon Bice.
Boy, I like the ring of that. That sounds like a guy you got to guard.
Deacon Bice is nice.
I'm surrounded by dad jokers and poets. This is awesome. I feel right at home.
And Turner took it with the left. Got a little bit of contact, but no good on that shot attempt. Up ahead, that's going to be tipped and nearly saved back into his team by Tuggle. And Nick, I know you're noticing that full court pass.
Yeah, it's tough.
Is really tough, especially when you got a team that is as long and athletic as Oklahoma Flame.
Yeah, you don't want to throw up a 50-50 ball when you have possession. And another turnover. It's 20 for the game.
And now on the left-hand drive, offensive rebound, Tuggle. Coach Bell threw his hands up over his head.
Foul.
He couldn't believe they missed both those.
Boy, that's a bad foul.
With 0.4 of a second on the clock.
Wow. Wow.
So again, another weird situation where it looked like Flame were completely in control, and then at the end of a quarter, they allow West Michigan just kind of creep right back in.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been hanging around. They again, they're doing the same thing they did in the first quarter, where it was like for the first 6 or 7 minutes, they really weren't doing much, and then all of a sudden they turn it on, and that's going to catch up with you. And plus, too, like you said, Nick, boy, if you want a formula to not win an undisputed, turnovers.
Yep.
Well, and outside of the 20 turnovers, you look at all the missed free throws as well. I mean, I'm not keeping track of missed free throws, but they've left a lot of points on the board.
Yes, they have.
And it's going to be a 10-point Flame lead heading into the fourth, 50-40. Final 7 minutes after this.
Lotion is rich in nature's ingredients and helps me manage discomfort day or night. And it smells great too. From muscle strains to soreness to simple backaches and arthritis. Real time it and knock out your pain. It works for me and it will work for you. Real time pain relief, it's a knockout.
Back in Drury with 7 minutes left to determine the 16U undisputed national champion on the boys' side. Oklahoma Flame currently hold a 10-point advantage. West Michigan looking to fight back in as they've been doing all game long. And Roloffs has been a big part of that. He feeds that down low. Back outside, Nienhuis. Good interior passing leads to an outside three.
Wow.
Yes.
That was why I was hoping that the Hornets would finally be able to have like the first few minutes of a quarter where they actually did something, because they've been it's almost like they wait, and you can't wait. There's not enough time left. Great way to start things off.
And the answer on the other side, no good from Turner. Rebound to Cochran. Oh, that's stolen away. Daniel Turner, and that's been the story of this game, unfortunately for West Michigan. This is not one of the tapes you're going to send to the Homeschool Basketball Hall of Fame.
Where is that? I want to go there.
That's a great question. We need to put it somewhere fun, though.
Oh, for sure.
Another missed opportunity that time as Malenik, who had just hit the three, no good on a bunny shot.
I mean, I would offer my house as a location for it, but I also want to stay married, so I'm not going to offer my house.
It's okay. We'll get you some gate revenue.
Oh, foul. Oh, man, they did not call that.
So Quan Young on a breakaway, and he picks up where he left off. He now has 26 in the game.
26 points. Quiet 26. He just keeps playing.
Roloffs. Speaking of quiet, he's unfortunately been not as productive here in the second half. He's got just 3 second-half points.
You know, I talked about Young having a quiet 26. It's more his demeanor, and you got to love it. Like, he just seems super steady. We saw him miss a dunk earlier. He just walked it off. He had the same expression as when he went down and made a crazy shot that he hit. you know, and he seems very steady, doesn't seem to go up or down too much, and as a coach, you love that in your players.
Definitely. He's going to have an opportunity to play at the next level.
And that ball was stolen away by David Turner, and Young just floats up and puts it in. I mean, he is putting on a layup clinic.
You're not going to win too many games with 23 turnovers.
Roll-offs.
I don't know how he stopped.
Nienhuis puts it up.
Travel.
And that's going to be a traveling violation.
24 turnovers. Sorry to keep harping on it, but it just seems almost 50% of their possessions result in turnovers.
It's unfathomable. It really is.
Because they're shooting a pretty solid percentage.
In the corner, a three-pointer, no good.
I mean, that's a number that it's like if you were keeping it on the scoreboard, you'd quit putting it up there because it's too many to even keep count of.
And even on these offensive passes to their teammates, it's a little bit of a struggle. That time, Bergwerf gets them a little closer, but then Quan Young on the breakaway the other way.
Wow, he is so good.
I was going to say, I thought he was going way too fast to get that in, and what a touch.
He's got a 30-piece.
Wow.
And a blocking foul called on David Turner.
Started falling before contact was even there, and refs are not too often going to reward that with a charge. If you want to take a charge in this day and age, you're going to have to really take it, and you're going to have to be camped out for a while.
Yeah, and I've actually heard that said, not from an official, but from other commentators and things, former coaches on other broadcasts, and they said, you know, you do have to earn it. You got to show me you're willing to take the contact, or I'm not going to give that to you.
Exactly.
Cochran connects on 1 of 2, cuts it back to a 12-point deficit for West Michigan. And then an errant pass going the other way, roll-offs, and he's going to be fouled by Young.
Boy, that was tough because Young was right behind him, and he was sailing in the air, and it was so close to him, he almost had to, just try.
And I like what Coach Bell did there. He saw from the table that was Young's 4th. Instead of immediately looking down his bench and trying to find the person to replace him, he got Young's attention and told him, you've got 4.
Yeah.
Completely trusting his player to stay in the game and do what he needs to do.
Well, we saw what happened when they took him out in the first half. The Hornets were able to make a run and tie things up at halftime. So you want him on the floor if you're the Flame.
And Noah Roloffs hits 1 of 2 as well.
22 for Roloffs, almost a steal.
And that's going to be a foul called on Moses Vanderbilt.
Nick, we usually teach you want a middle pass somewhere, but we've seen today that's been a dangerous area on both sides. There have been a lot of steals right in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, and that time that was the 5th foul on Moses Vanderbilt, so he will have to check out.
Sometimes just putting a body there is going to suck the defense in, and then it's going to create openings. The real thing is make sure you have someone there, but you don't need to force a pass to them.
That's a tough loss for Vanderbilt, for the Hornets rather, with Vanderbilt going out. He had 6 points, but more importantly, he's just been on the floor the entire game. He's just a hustler. He's involved in so many plays, and let's see if the Hornets will be able to adjust to life without him out there.
Now Turner working against Nienhuis.
Yeah.
And that's some aggressive defense, but a little too aggressive.
Yeah, I like the hustle by Nienhuis. He's trying to make something happen for his team, but it hasn't quite hit that point where you have to gamble that hard right now. You still got a little under 4 minutes, but you do need to get some stops here.
Three-pointer on the way.
Big
yes.
shot.
Lucas Wyatt.
That doesn't help their cause, but it absolutely helps the cause of the Oklahoma Flame in trying to win this 16U Undisputed.
And they are still applying full-court pressure. I imagine they will the rest of the game, as it's been so effective
why pull it
against
off?
this West Michigan Hornets team.
I can't remember the last time I saw a game with 25 turnovers for one team.
Especially in Undisputed. And that's
back-to-back by Lucas Wyatt. He's sensing a banner in his near future as the Oklahoma Flame have extended this lead 64-47, 17-point lead as we have 3 minutes and 19 seconds left in the game. Want to remind you, we've got action all day long. I was about to say all week, but we've come, unfortunately, to the last day somehow.
How did that happen?
I'm not sure, but it is our Championship Friday. We've got various Undisputeds being played, including this one.
Yeah.
Coming up in the next couple games, we've got some boys Division II, Division III, some incredible action. And, you know, we were talking about this earlier before the tournament started. You look at the crop of talent that's down in D2.
Yeah.
I mean, it is still very high-level basketball.
Oh, I mean, coming up next is the girls' 18U Division II Championship. And Nick and I got to see this yesterday. I mean, Abby Lotzenheiser, it probably is the best individual performance I've seen. I mean, we just are seeing Quan Young right now with 30. She had 38 points, at least 20 rebounds. We didn't even get full count. And, I mean, she was getting close to a triple-double or a quadruple-double. Yeah. And it was, I mean, you talk about a dominating performance. I mean, their opponent, it wasn't that they even played poorly.
Yeah, that's a Wilt Chamberlain stat line.
Yeah, no joke. We should have gotten a picture where they're holding up a paper that said that. 38. 38, 20, and 8 and 6 or whatever.
That's
on the
better.
drive, Bergwerf.
Where has that been all
up
game?
Ahead, Quan Young has a chance on the breakaway, and he's going to be fouled. I believe they got that one on Bergwerf, and that might be his fifth as well. That's going to send Young to the line. Yep,
Young, it's almost impossible to get a charge on Young because when he gets in the air, he can just maneuver his body so well and still keep the touch, you know, to try to get the shot. I thought he was going to make that.
I've noticed it a lot at this tournament as well. A lot of these players, like you look at a Caleb Jackson for Dash, who will be playing tonight, they've got these big sweeping hooks on these layups. And I think, like you mentioned, when you're able to shift your body when you jump, right? You know, a lot of people, when they jump, they got to go straight up.
Right.
They're able to be so athletic that they can go around a defender.
Yeah.
And it does cause a lot of problems when you try to take a charge.
And one of the similarities, they all use the glass really well. You know, like when you think about it, and when you're trying to aim at that cylinder, I mean, the backboard is much bigger. And if you can use the backboard, I mean, it gives you a whole lot more options once you're up in the air.
Young missed both free throws. And coming the other way is West Michigan. And that ball's poked away again. Ends up, it's going to be up ahead to Young. And he's going to lay that up and in.
He beats the Hornets down the floor almost every time. He doesn't take a break when the ball goes in the hoop, either offensively or defensively. He just sprints everywhere.
Well, and he's at the front of that press, too. So I mean, it's tough to even get the inbounds. He's got the length. And a lot of times he'll tip the ball. Even if he doesn't get the steal, it'll at least make life difficult, if not tip it to one of his players.
Three-pointer roll-offs, no good. West Michigan one possession back. That floater, no good.
And starting to run out of time here, down 17. You're going to have to start gambling quite a bit, and they've already fouled out 2 players.
And that's Dawson Bell, his first basket of the fourth quarter. But you see Young still up there at the top of the trap, causing all kinds of problems. Even when they're getting these press breaks, it's taking time off the clock. I've been very impressed with Mr. Quan Young.
Another whistle. Under 2 minutes to go. It's almost 20 points. If you're the Hornets, you're kind of, you've almost got to double your possessions right now to be able to get 19 points. Right now it helps that you can shoot with the clock stop, but you got to convert. And you talked about it, Paul. Man, they have missed they've left a ton of points at the free throw line.
And
looks like they're going to concede this one.
They're putting the subs in.
Yeah, both teams.
Checking in for West Michigan is David Vanderkirk. Number 11, Judah Biker. Number 34, that's Jonas DeMeester. 31, Jared Vinlett. And number 24, Roloff stays in. 40 is, okay.
Couple of things. It's neat to see other Midwest teams that are over there rooting for the Hornets that I'm sure they played tooth and nail with in the regionals, but the Northside Lions came to support the Hornets in this one, and they're over there. And, you know, we get to hear some of the stories. I don't think you're going to see him in the game, but number 20, on the Hornets. As Roloffs goes out and just brokenhearted. He gave everything he had. Just a great game by Roloffs, 22 points. But Isaac Walma, number 20 on the Hornets this year, early in the season was diagnosed with leukemia. And I talked to the coach before, or one of the coaches of their program, and he said the whole team just really rallied around him, and he's basically just become this unifying thing that reminds them that this is more than basketball. And they love the basketball, and they give everything they have to it. But what a crazy, incredible story, and how he says that God has used that as they rally around to support their teammate with a horrible disease of cancer. And yet he's still on the team. He's still traveling with them and getting his treatments. And so our prayers go out to him and support for the Hornets as Nienhuis also fouls out. But we hear those stories, and that's really what it's about. These kids are so many amazing stories that are behind a lot of these games and these teams, and so much ministry that goes on. A lot of these coaches they don't do this full time. They're in ministry. They do all kinds of things to help in their communities or their churches, and so our prayers.
Offensive rebound, Vinlette.
Prayers out to the Walma family, and great effort by the Hornets, but man, the Oklahoma Flame just looks so tough today behind the explosion of Quan Young with 32 points.
It was a cool moment for the Flame. Coach Bell embracing his son as he came to the bench. A lot of times fathers get to coach their sons here at this level. It's a super cool thing when they get it done, see the embrace.
Mm-hmm. Been through that with a couple of my sons, and boy, you do appreciate it.
And that's going to be a timeout for West Michigan. And I think the coaches, I'm not sure why they're going to sub in Isaac Walma, who you were just talking about, Scott.
Wow, that's
awesome.
pretty
special.
Amazing story, an amazing young man. And what a great, classy move.
Yep, Coach Bell went over immediately, 2 thumbs up, and said, we're going to do that.
I love it. Well, you can come to these games and you can cheer your hearts out and really get into it, but when it all comes down to it, there's so much more, and boy, this is awesome.
They're going to put the ball in Walma's hand to finish the game.
Oh, and they want him to go in and take a shot. He's not going to take a layup. He's going to take a jumper.
Took the jumper.
That one doesn't go.
They're going to get him in the scorebook.
It's got to happen.
That's awesome.
And that's the first points on the board for Isaac Walma. And big cheers from the entire arena, including the Oklahoma Flame faithful. Incredibly classy move from Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
Very special moment for both of these programs. They played an incredible game.
That's probably the biggest standing ovation we've had all week. I mean, I got goosebumps.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What a story. And what an environment, and what a cool experience for both teams. And again, you said it, Paul, but Coach Stephen Bell, Mike Turner, Jacob Bice, Jeremiah Richardson with the Oklahoma Flame, their entire team, to be able to be a part of that. And then the Hornets, you know, this has to take some of the sting off. You lose the game, but you remember it's much bigger than that. So what an environment. And
the Oklahoma Flame are your boys 16 and under, undisputed national champions as they defeat the West Michigan Hornets 70-51. Coming up next, we've got some girls D2 action. Make sure you stick around for that and all of the other festivities happening tonight here at Drury. On behalf of Nick Fairley and Scott Staten, we want to thank you for joining us, and make sure you stick around for the next one.